Hi Willow and Ash class, Mrs. Searle here. Now I'm going to read you a little bit more of Beowulf. I'm going to start from the beginning in case there's some of you who didn't see the video that we posted last week. So I'm going to read some of it, not all of it, because we're then going to use the story structure from the part that I've read you for you to write your own legend about your own monster. So, Beowulf. Chapter 1. The Great Hall. Long, long ago, Denmark was a wild place. Gruesome monsters roamed the misty moors. At night they howled and growled and shrieked and snarled. The king of the Danes, a warlord named Hrothgar, refused to be scared. He built a huge hall for himself on top of a craggy hill at the edge of the moors. The hall was made of the finest wood, decorated with ivory, silver, and dazzling gold. The king called it Heorot. Each night the king invented his bravest warriors to a lavish feast of roasted meat with jugs of frothing ale. The huge hall shook with the singing and laughter. The men ate and drank until they fell asleep, safe together in the warmth. But outside, something evil was rising. Chapter 2. A Monster Strikes. Across the moor, a foul monster crawled from a swamp. His name was Grendel. It had claws like knives and burning eyes. The warrior's laughter had woken it from sleep. Grendel hated laughter. The monster marched across the moors in a fit of rage. It burst upon Heorot and smashed open the doors. The warriors in Heorot were terrified. They had never seen anything so fierce. The men tried to fight, but Grendel was too strong. The monster snatched up several men and dragged them screaming to its lair at the bottom of the swamp. Heorot dripped with their blood. Grendel returned every night for months. Any man brave enough to stay in Heorot at night didn't live until morning. King Hrothgar was heartbroken. At night his great hall stood silent and empty on the edge of the moors. Chapter 3. A hero arrives. Across Denmark, a coast guard watched as the warship approached the cliffs. The guard frowned. The ship was filled with Geats, enemies of the Danes. The guard rushed to challenge the warriors. "Who are you?" he demanded. "What do you want?" The Geats' leader stepped forward. His shield gleamed in the dazzling sun. "I am Beowulf," he declared. "I have heard the story of Grendel. Tell me, your king, that I have come to kill this monster." "Go home," the guard insisted, raising his spear. "Many men have died trying to fight Grendel." Beowulf just smiled. He brushed the guard's spear aside with his palm. "Then that is how I shall die too," he said. Chapter 4. Final Feast. The guard left Beowulf and the Geats past lakes and bogs to where Heorot towered above the moors. The Geats were stunned by the hall's beauty. Beowulf handed the guard his sword. "Take my weapon, so your king knows I come as a friend." "You'll need it again by nightfall," the guard warned. "That's when Grendel comes." King Hrothgar sat inside. His face was lined with grief, but he managed a smile to meet the Geats. "You have come far," he said, "to a wild place." "We have come to kill your monster," Beowulf replied. The king had heard many men vow to defeat Grendel, and all of them had died. This warrior, though, seemed certain. "First," said the king, "you must join me for a feast." The king sent for his warriors from nearby villages. The Danes and Geats ate together, swapping stories and singing songs. King Hrothgar sighed. The laughter reminded him of happier times in Heorot. Beowulf took the king's arm. "Tomorrow," he promised, "you will hear laughter again." Chapter 5. Beowulf versus Grendel. Night fell. The hall twinkled with candlelight as King Hrothgar and his men left the Geats to a nervous rest. Most of the Geats huddled together at the back of the hall, armed with axes, knives and swords. But Beowulf sat alone in the dark corner near the doors. Beowulf's friend Leofric crawled over. He looked worried. "Beowulf," he whispered, "where is your sword?" "I gave it to the guard outside," Beowulf replied. "Grendel fights with bare hands, and so will I." Beowulf saw the fear in his friend's face. "Don't worry, Leofric," he added. "We will kill this monster." An hour passed. Outside on the moors, one of the swamps bubbled. Grendel rose. The beast stomped towards Heorot, dripping with slime and hungry for blood. Grendel tore open the doors and glared inside. All of the Geats lay fast asleep, except for one. Beowulf crouched in the shadows, his steely eyes fixed on the murdering monster. Grendel reached for Leofric, and Beowulf pounced, grasping the monster's arm. Grendel writhed and thrashed, but Beowulf would not let go. Grendel swiped and slashed, but Beowulf would not let go. The hall shuddered, benches shattered, but still Beowulf refused to let go. He tugged the monster's arm and tore it from its body. Grendel roared in pain. The monster smashed out of the hall and charged into the night, staggering across the moor. Beowulf stood holding Grendel's dripping arm. He knew the monster would bleed to death. Grendel was defeated. The next day, Heorot shook with laughter. King Hrothgar hosted a huge feast and rewarded the Geats with golden treasures. And that's as far as I'm going to read for you, Willow and Ash class. Okay, if you read the activities below, you will see what to do next. Hope you enjoyed the story. Take care, see you soon. Bye!